entire nation and to sustain that through grassroots elections and all this. Most parties, including ODM, which is perhaps the most consequential party in the last 3 decades, are yet to conduct that, or have done that not with much success. Then the question therefore is it normal or is it appropriate for us to continue funding political parties? Or is it something that we need to relook at? Why should taxpayers be paying for a party that is down to family feuds?
Actually, that's a very good question, because the biggest deficit in terms of political hygiene in our country is internal party democracy. And the political parties are agents of democracy at the national elections and the national stage. But internally, many of them do not practice the democracy that they preach. And the political parties fund comes in with a condition. It's a conditional grant to parties that meet certain criteria, and it is a conditional grant on the basis of having internal party democracy, having a certain constitution, having a 1/3 gender principle complied with in the party organs and structures, ensuring that you have elections and all these things. Unfortunately, the parties have kept receiving funding, the larger parties that receive funding and the parliamentary parties, the ones that are represented in parliament and county assemblies, but they are not complying with the law. They ordinarily don't have their internal party elections. They keep postponing them, and it is amazing what happens, and yet they keep receiving funding. The way they replace office bearers is through methods of appointment, not methods of popular election. My colleague Harrison was talking about the issue of participation by the members. Even the concept of public participation in the Constitution applies to political parties that claim to be national parties. They have to engage their members. They need to have the NDC. They need to have barazas at the local or grassroots level to get views of their members. Instead of it being a bottom-up kind of like democracy, which is what is conceived in the Constitution and the Political Parties Act, it becomes a top-down, where things are imposed from the top, and when the ground may be listened to in a cosmetic manner, a manner that is basically window dressing and is not real. A part of the challenge has also been the failure to strengthen the Office of Registrar of Political Parties and, of course, IEBC, but largely the Office of Registrar of Political Parties, which ends up being kind of like hostage to the main political parties of the day. And those are important stakeholders. The challenge with the caucuses of political parties that have been unable to mobilize effectively for internal party democracy. So if we can give a scorecard of internal party democracy in terms of our electoral framework, it will be a failing scorecard, and something needs to be done. And you've seen that is why politicians are very quick to change parties like clothes, and to form parties and popularize new parties, to dump old parties, because parties are just vehicles for getting into power. That effort to build political parties, which in the case of ODM, they put a lot of effort because it is a 20-year-old party. They were commemorating their 20th anniversary the other day. They had national structures, has not been there. And even in the case of ODM, they have had their own challenges of internal party democracy. And when the party becomes purely focused on charismatic leadership, because you focus on the leader, or the party leader is the one who makes decisions, everyone bows down, then you face a crisis when that leader exits the stage. So there's a lot we can learn from political parties in advanced democracies, in places like United Kingdom, United States of America, where the parties have actually nurtured leaders. Mm-hmm. They have been able to get to come up with ideology, to be think tanks even for those in leadership, and to help transition from one generation of leaders to the next. In Kenya, it seems that when the generation of leaders move on, the new leaders come in with their own parties. Mm-hmm. So clearly there is a problem.
All right. And the issue is now, if you look